Hello. So today I wanted to talk about something that I don't know how it got so misconstrued, and that has to do with anointings and crowns and what I have seen in the Bible. So the one that gave his anointing, the first one that I seen is Elijah. Elijah gave his anointing through his mantle, but he was already going to heaven. Then the next one that I've seen is Ezekiel's bones. And probably one of his relatives died and they put him on top of his bones, which is something that the Jewish people do. And that's basically that person became alive. But you could see that Ezekiel was dead already. So when you have an anointing, it's like I always wondered why God needed us, right? And that's what he does. He puts it in you, and at the right time, at the right moment, it's going to come out, whether you were an atheist or not. So there's a misconception these days that when you have an anointing, you could pass it or you could give it to somebody else, which is not true. I don't see that anywhere in the Bible. The only way, like I said, is through death. And the only person that was able to give a little bit of his anointing to was the woman who had the issues of blood. We don't really know much of her story, but I can imagine she testified and became a Christian. Because she did believe, right? She was so desperate. And that's basically what happened. But that was Yeshua. Yeshua is God. So he don't have to be dead. So that's what I've seen in the Bible. And I have also read books that are not in the Bible, but they used to be the Apocrypha. And that's what I've seen. So I don't understand how people could say, well, I'm going to give you anointing, or I'm going to pass my anointing to you because I'm going to retire. That's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. And all these things are not done by man. It's done by God. And if he gave it to you, nobody can take it away. Whether you have an anointing or you have a crown. The crown is different. When he gives a crown to somebody, is that you're going to be a ruler and you're going to be taking over armies of angels. And whether it's because if you have an army here, that same army is in heaven or it's been in heaven. And that's how things, God is a God of order. And he doesn't do things like, oh, you sloppily. No. Everything that is happening has been ordained, is in the books since the beginning of time. So nothing is supposed to surprise us, right? So if you have a crown, he has crowned you in order for you to bring the kingdom to him. You bring it and lay it at the feet of Jesus. And that's what people with a crown do. That's what happens. And you keep on doing it until, of course, you die. And there's no... I have been seeing monarchies, and I've been researching monarchies, and I'm like, what are they doing? This is not what it's supposed to be. It's just more like a symbolic thing. And because they want to keep the royals, with their taxes or whatever. But that's not really what the royals used to do. They even used to go to battle, right? And this is basically, it's very confusing to me when I see these things, because I'm thinking, like the prophet. Let me give you an example. The prophet William Marion Brown, he was a prophet. He had the anointing of Elijah. God gave him the anointing of Elijah. And of course, when you see his videos, you could understand that everything he was saying was not a good thing. I mean, he was really telling the people, what they're supposed to do or not. You're not supposed to do this. But he also brought healing, and the way he did it with handkerchiefs. He'll pray over. He probably fasted and prayed over these handkerchiefs, and we're giving it to people. But it's up to the people if they have enough faith. because I think one of his sermons talked about this man that he was blind, and he kept on saying, you know, I am healed, I am healed, I am healed. Even though it took a long time for his healing, he finally got healed. So it's your faith that God is gonna do it, that heals you. When you have a crown, you have authority. You have been given authority. And of course, that authority goes both ways, you know. Whether you're crowned here on earth and you get all the things that crown comes with, like the military and all that stuff. When you're crowned in heaven, you get everything um, that crown comes with. The angel armies and the angels and everything that has to do with that, right? And of course, you know, when I pray and I decree and declare, I bring it up to the feet of the throne of Jesus. So that's what I'm trying to tell people. When you're crowned, it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke to be crowned. You have to go through hell, right? I mean, what King David went through, you know. My goodness, because that was a heavy anointing that he had on him. That was a heavy crown. That's to say it's heavy. And yeah, I don't understand all these misconceptions that you could give your anointing, or I even heard grave soaking. I'm like, how it became so weird, right? I don't understand that. But if you have an anointing, it's knitted in you. And sooner or later it's going to come out. Just like it happened with Paul, that used to be Saul. And when you're crowned, that's very heavy. That's very, very heavy. It's not an easy, because that comes with so many other things, with burdens, with tribulation, you know, with so many things, you know. I know something was going on with me because I was always criticized since I was little. And my eyes were criticized by one of my aunts, telling me that I had cow eyes. So I always try to, you know, hide them for whatever, because I'm not the only one that said. I mean, she wasn't the only one that said it. So many people. And my husband said no. Because Indian people have big eyes, so it was no big deal to him, you know. But for other people, yeah. So you're gonna be criticized. You're gonna be put down. They're gonna enter you into the new age, because that's what happened to me. I was anointed in the voodoo, with the voodoo stuff, whatever, what happened, and I think that ricocheted into the new age. So I know the tricks that these people use, these witches and these warlocks and whoever think that they could take over a kingdom that is not theirs, you know. So to be in the new age also is very difficult. It's not easy, because you got the dark days of the night that you have to go through, and you're going to get very, very sick when you go through that. And you're going to have the kundalini also, that is also going to open up your third eye. And it is, but it's not. It used to be of God, but for some reason the fallen angels gave it to humans. And that's basically what happened. When you have you see the other realm, is you become a seer when that happens, right? And of course they need seers, because they want to go and see what, you know, their enemies were doing. And that happened in government too, right? And I seen things, I still see things, and I hear things, and maybe a lot of people do, and they are put in mental hospitals, you know. So I'm thinking that what is the complication of it? Is very complicated, these anointings, because how on earth I came to know all these things as a new ager, that as a Christian, they don't talk about it, right? Unless I think it's some do. Some is coming out talking about the new age and witchcraft and all these different things, and what do they do. And but you, when you know these things and you are in the opposite end, what you're gonna do? You're gonna just not use it, these gifts? right? Remote viewing, as to traveling, that's a lot of things that come with the new age. And you should listen to Victor Otto because he's the one that was like kind of like my online mentor. And one lady, but I forgot her name, and she became a Christian, which is I was like, no way she became a Christian, because I know the attacks on her was horrible after that, because they don't if you get these gifts from the this spirit realm, that big gift to you is for you to use it with the enemy, with their enemy, not to use it against them. And that I know that she went through what's her name, she went through hell and back, I know. So this is all of what I'm gonna say. When you have a crown, nobody can take the crown away, whether you are with lowest of the low, nobody can take it away. It's not giving out like candy. The anointings also are not giving out like candy. You cannot give your anointing to somebody else unless you're dead. If you're dead or you are about to die, then, because Elisha did it with the king, right? And he was telling him, do this, do this, do this before he passed away. And the king stopped, and that's when Elisha got really angry, because why did he stop, right? Probably the king didn't understand. Instead of asking, well, what does this mean? He probably didn't, so he just did it like 3 times, I think. So yes, I just wanted to come in 1 quick minute and to tell you that you cannot give away your anointing to anybody, or they cannot take your crown away. God bless you.